It is nothing sinister. It may seem shadowy and mysterious to a lot of folks. Larry Gordon is co-founder and CEO of xOps Incorporated, which is a global IT and DevOps firm. Larry, what is DevOps? In a nutshell, in plain basic language, what are we talking about here?
So it's a better way to deploy applications to the cloud. So everybody's heard a lot about, the cloud and what does it mean? It's AWS or Microsoft data centers. And it requires new skills and new ways and new people to get these applications that might run on your phone or on your laptop at work to store data and process data up in those AWS and Microsoft data centers.
And
DevOps helps
okay.
you do that.
And it also involves the development of the apps, the software, the coding that allows that to be done. So there is some, I guess, what we used to call software development involved in this, right?
Yeah, and that's new, Chris. It used to be a group of application developers built an application and they threw it over a wall to a group of ops people. And those ops people kind of pushed some buttons and pulled some levers and, it ran. And, they did that every 6 months and everybody got very tense and, did it work? And they did it over a weekend, hoping they didn't, break anything.
Right.
Nowadays, they do things in smaller batches. So it requires everybody to be a coder and everybody to work on the application and everybody to work together to deploy the application. And they might do it 2 or 3 times a day or 2 or 3 times a week. Some of our clients to put new code and, you've gone to your phone and, seen updates, might happen once a week or every 3 or 4 days. It happens much more rapidly now.
So how are companies deploying this technology? What are they using it for? Give us some kind of real world examples.
Sure. So we have clients in the book publishing business. And applications are now cloud native that allow the teachers to order the books for the kids and the parents to order the books from the kids that the teachers require. And that's all done in a cloud application. And the application is able to be easily connected to the warehouse where the warehouse people go and pick the books off the shelves and ship them out, and it gets to everybody in time. So if that breaks, the kids don't get to read Harry Potter. The teachers don't get to give tests. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen anymore.
So, and among your other client list, I'm looking at your website here, and you list among your clients banks, media companies such as AMC. How do they deploy? I would imagine very different applications from a book publisher to a bank to a media company.
Right. So AMC, a media company, many media companies, terrific company, and they feel they don't, necessarily compete with HBO or Disney or, they compete with going outside. When you sit down and you want to order that movie and you're on your sofa, you want to get to your account, place your order, have it billed correctly, and have that movie running really quickly. Because if you get frustrated, you might do something like go outside. We're from New York. There's always a little bit of humor and stuff. A bank, very different, right? So a bank, wants to make sure the e-commerce applications that their customers are using to do, check balances, deposit money, all that has to be, updated continuously, has to be accurate. That cannot break, because DevOps helps enterprises do things with higher quality. It's about higher quality, it's about lower cost. It's about, speed and rapidity of deployment.
So now I'm guessing that, like with many new technologies, you see it deployed first in large corporations. Use the bank as an example. Your largest corporations will deploy this first. Those with nearly unlimited IT and R&D funds. How far down the food chain has this migrated now?
Everybody's doing it. A small startup that is less than 5 years old, the engineers there, this is the only way they've ever done anything. It's all they know. They couldn't imagine the big waterfall projects of past generations. So from the small startups, and we work with small, really cool startups, to large banks, they'll have a large program where they'll do something called a DevOps dojo, where different application development groups in a big company like a Walmart or a Chase, they might have 1,000, 10 or 12 engineer application deployment groups. They'll cycle through the dojo and learn, how to do this and what kind of consultants they need to do it better and do it faster.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm getting to here. I mean, you've got, like you said, you've got your Walmarts and your Chase entities that have huge opportunity to leverage this with those smallest startups. I mean, we're talking sole proprietorships or a mom and pop kind of thing. Again, so often these days you have to, in order to compete, you have to be online and in the cloud, and you have to be technologically savvy. But what if you don't inherently have those skills?
So we recently onboarded 2 very interesting clients. One is online yoga. So everybody can choose the yoga practitioner of their choice for the price they want at the time they want. Brand new company, right? And you can see why this is popular now.
Sure.
Just formed company. They need to do it faster, cheaper, better. I mean, money is not, flowing to every startup like it was a while ago these days. So that they want the best way to do this. It's really only a couple of developers and a couple of business people. Another application, similar, in terms of how we do engineering, is Football Fan Club. They aggregate bars that are showing European football, soccer, and connect them with fans of European soccer and football. In places where bars are open or limited, people want to know, people want to make reservations. It brings them together. They couldn't do this without a new, lean, agile way of building software and deploying software. Couldn't be done without the newfangled way.
Especially these days with a need. So this is another good example of, thank goodness, all of this that we are experiencing, this disruption of business is happening now and not 20 years ago, where the after effects or the impact would have been that much greater. Not that it's great now, but it would have been even worse back then. So what is the future? I mean, we talk about how this is being used in the business world today. What about in a year from now, or 5 years, or a decade from now?
Well, I think there's going to be a bifurcation, and people will better understand which applications don't need DevOps. Could be a long-standing application that does its job, doesn't get improved a lot, every week or every month. It just kind of, and frankly, don't spend your money, investing in re-engineering that the way it is. It's all the new applications, and we'll see all the new applications being done in this more lean, agile fashion. And companies will have to decide, hey, I have this big monolithic application that I'm running my company on. It could be payroll, or it could be warehouse, or it could be, financial transactions. And they're going to have to make some big decisions. Am I going to rewrite this thing and keep it? Am I going to start anew and write something new and replace it? Or, am I going to be a dinosaur?
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll see.
It is a fascinating topic, and again, one of the biggest buzzwords in today's high-tech business environment, which is only going more so in that direction the further into the future we look. DevOps, what it is and how it works for businesses. Larry Gordon, again, co-founder and CEO of xOps Incorporated. You at your website have more information about how you're leveraging this technology for companies, as you said, large and small across the spectrum.
We do. And the DevOps community in general takes information sharing, writing articles, doing webcasts, and you can find them all on our website. The sharing and the learning and the growth of this is what drives a lot of people to put a lot of time into this.
Larry, thanks very much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. Have a great day.
Well, our ongoing Keeping the Faith series.